Hey coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D Coin Channel. I got a coin roll of $10 worth of quarters, and you can see this is one of the modern um, rolls, by the labeling on it and everything. But when I looked at the end of it, I saw this, and I said, oh, that's kind of interesting. And you look at the end, and you see that it says 1967. Can you see that right there? 1967. So I'm going, okay, well, this is probably pretty good. So let's just kind of dump these coins out of the roll and take a look through them. Because maybe we have some older coins in there. Sometimes people just take their older coins and just roll them up because they're not of much value. And of course, that's going to be the problem here with the 1967s. Looks like these are all 1967s, every single one. All right, why would somebody take a bunch of 1967 coins and just give them up and put them in a coin roll and give them to the bank? Well, there's a very good reason for that, and that is because in 1967 you need to remember that there was no mint marks. So every 1967 quarter looks exactly the same. There's no Denver, there's no Philadelphia, there's no San Francisco, and there's surely no West Point one. They made 1.52 billion of these in 1967. This, of course, is the Washington quarter, which John Flanagan, and of course they still have the JF on them, but John Flanagan engraved in originally in 1938, I believe, and then they changed it in 1965 to be a copper nickel clad copper. In the back of this coin, of course, it says United States of America, Pluribus Unum. We have the eagle holding the arrow, the sheaf of arrows. You can see the eagle's tail underneath. It says $quarter on the bottom. So this is was made essentially until 1998 when they got started with the America the Beautiful and the United States quarters and all that other stuff. So we'll take a look at some of them in a second. So it's a 1967. These look like they're all 1967s. Let's see. We can look and see if there's any doubling on them or anything, but I'm guessing that if a collector turned them in, somebody collecting them turned them in, they will not have any doubling, but we will look through them later. But kind of a disappointment because you think that something 50-something years old is going to be of some value, but these coins are worth 25 cents each, and the collector or whoever had them was right on track to just say, let me buy something else with my money rather than these nickels, which probably won't ever appreciate in value much. I mean nickels, I mean quarters. There's a 1964 from our other collection. You can tell it's a 1964. You tip it up on its side. You see it's 90% silver. So this 1964 coin, when it first came out, it was silver, and then it moved in 1965 to the copper nickel clad copper. What was before then? The old Standing Liberty. So this is a 1926 Standing Liberty, and you can see Liberty standing there. It says "In God We Trust" going across. This is a silver coin, of course, also. This coin is so worn that even though it's a 1926, it is very little value other than silver value. It says United States of America at the top, E Pluribus Unum. These stars here, stars up the side, stars up either side, and you can see the rim is just kind of worn right off completely, and it is a silver coin. This coin's worth about $8 in the USA coin book, and the most of that is the silver value. It just didn't appreciate much since then. And you'll see if you look in the USA coin book and look at these good or less than good conditioned Standing Liberties, the $8 is about as low as they go, and that's what this one's worth, even though it's almost 100 years old. So what else did they come up with? Well, of course, in 1976 they came up with this coin, the 1776 to 1976 coin, and on the back of that they put the drummer, United States of America. So this was a one-off. It came out in 1975, and they also made them in 1976. And by came out in 1975, I mean that's when they minted them. They all came out from the banks in 1976. And they made this in, so they wasn't actually a 1975 coin quarter at all. Then they moved on to the state quarters, and of course this is the Alabama state quarter, has Helen Keller on it, and actually has Braille on it. Can you see that right there? That's pretty cool, huh? This is a 2003 version. 1999, they came out with the first of the state quarters. It was Delaware. And then they went through all the different states to get there. Now, one of the things that's kind of interesting is that the U.S. went to a 25-cent coin. They never went to a 20. So we know that, like the Euros have 20-cent coins. We know that the United Kingdom has the 20 pence coin. But the United States has always used a 25-cent coin. Well, after they finished with the state quarters, they did so well. They did the protectorates in Commonwealth, so they did Puerto Rico, and then they came out with this America the Beautiful quarters. And look at this one, Blue Ridge Parkway, North Carolina. This is a 2015, and you can just see this. And they did have a different front on them. See how this is slightly different on the front of this? And let me show you the United States quarter, how they changed the front of that one too. So you see how they flipped this over from the 76 with the big head on it, the 67 with the huge head on it. They kind of moved over to this much more curly-haired version with Liberty under the chin instead of above it. United States of America moved from the back to the front. Quarter dollar moved from the back to the front. And In God We Trust moved from in front to behind. So they changed it up quite a bit lately. And I don't know about you, but I'm very interested in these new quarters coming out, the so-called Women's Year in Quarters, which is starting this year. And hopefully we'll see some of them soon. All right, that's all we have from the Big D Coin Channel. This is DC saying over and out. Please subscribe to our channels if you get a chance, and we'd love to have any comments you have put in the comments section.